Oh my gosh. Guys, this is the last beer. We only got one left. This sucks. All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're gonna make a crazy swim bait today. It's gonna be a sort of like a bait fish, kind of like a bait school look. I've kind of made this bait before, but not on camera. So we're gonna put little swim baits inside a big swim bait. And I think it's gonna look pretty cool. It's a really neat effect. It's kind of got the live target look going on. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna get it right. It was really hard to do the first time. So hopefully I can duplicate it. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. Okay, so what we have here is we have our little swim bait mold. This is a 3-inch, just micro swim bait. And that's gonna be the little swim baits that go inside the big swim bait. So these are going in that. We're gonna do 3 colors. We're gonna do these with like a blue highlight effect, and then the middle of the bait, well, the bottom to the middle is gonna be just straight clear, and then we're gonna do a smoke gray top, okay? So that's what we're gonna do, a couple different things. We're gonna go ahead and cook up our plastisol. This is dead on plastic swim bait blend, of course, because we're making swim baits. And yeah, that's kind of how we're gonna get started. So we're gonna pour the little baits first, of course, and then we're actually gonna do a layer of capsule with clear plastic on the big bait, and then put the little baits inside. So that's enough jabbering. Let's get started. All right, so we have our first cup cooked there. So we're just gonna add a little bit of blue highlight, not a lot. Highlight's kind of weird. It's almost like less is more. You know, you put too much in there and it actually changes the color of the plastic. But to me, it doesn't highlight it as well. So, you know, when you're experimenting with highlight powders, you know, try to use a small amount at first. I think it just gives you the best look. Yeah, you can kind of see the highlight going on there. Alrighty. Yep, just regular blue highlight. And of course, you could make your interior swim baits, I guess, whatever color you wanted. I'm just kind of going with just a shad color. Very, very, very simple. So we're just gonna pour a few of these little swim baits here. I mean, these are tiny. And I don't need to fill in the tails because I don't put the entire bait in the big mold. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of just fill in some bodies, basically. All right, just some bodies. And we'll do an extra one here, just in case. All right, because it takes about 3 of those. So I've actually got quite a bit left over, but we'll set that aside. And those are gonna be our little interior baits. And then what we'll do is we'll put eyeballs on those, and then we'll get started on the big mold. And there's quite a few steps involved. It's not the most practical idea, but if you just want to do something cool at home, I think this is a really cool, I just kind of think it's a really cool concept. All right, so we have some swim bait plastic here, and looking nice and clear. So now we're gonna do a capsule, and you'll see this hook slot. That makes doing a capsule a little bit harder, but we're gonna do our best here. We're just gonna kind of pour it on either side. And just like before, we're just gonna kind of rotate the mold. And the reason I'm doing a capsule is so that the interior swim baits aren't directly on the bottom of the bait. I don't want them to be the bottom. You know, I want there to be a little bit distance between the bottom of the little baits and the actual bottom of the entire swim bait as a whole. So that's why I'm doing a capsule on the bottom, and I just think it looks better, me personally. So we're just gonna kind of try and even that out best we can. All right, that looks good to me. Just one layer capsule. You can do several layers, but I'm not done with this clear plastic. That's going to be the main body of the bait, so I've got to save this for later. All right, so now I've got to figure out some eyeballs for these little swim baits, but I got to get them out of the molds first. So that's what they look like. They're just little teeny tiny things. All right, so we're just gonna take them out here and lay them out. Try not to get too much glitter on them. There's just kind of random glitter here and there. So I'm gonna try to get that off, but yeah, I don't know. That's why I made 4 of these. But anyway, those are gonna be our little interior swim baits. Okay, and we'll clean these up just a smidge. But basically, you know, that's all we're putting in the mold. And then obviously I have to put some eyes on those. All right, so we're just gonna dab a little bit of glue. Dab a little bit of glue. And we're just gonna do these little teeny tiny silver eyes. I gotta take them off frame here to get them on. Okay, there's one. Let's see. Here's 2. All right, so there's one little swim bait. We'll set him down. All right, that one has some glitter on it, so we'll try and use something else here. All right, a little bit of glue. A little bit of glue. This one needs to be cleaned up a smidge. All right, and again, oh, that's 2 eyes. It's a little strange. All right. And these are little tiny 1/4-inch eyes. They may actually be smaller than true 1/4-inch. These are probably sized by millimeter, so I don't know exactly what size they are, but I think they're around 1/4-inch. Okay, and last but not least, do the eyes on this little guy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, these little eyes are tricky to work with sometimes. Okay, there we go. Got that one on. And last but not least, if I can get it, geez, you almost need like really long fingernails for this. All right, there we go. So we're putting 3 swim baits into the big bait, and on to the next step. All right, so we have our capsulated large bait here, and what we're doing, that's technically the top of the bait. So we're literally just gonna put one on one side of that hook slot there. Okay, I'm just gonna mash it into place. All right, that's down in there, looking good. Try not to mess up my capsule edge too much. All right, and then same with the next one. Okay, we're just gonna kind of open this up, mash it down in there. One on either side of the capsule, of the hook slot. And then the one that has the longest tail, I didn't do that by necessarily on purpose, but since it has the longest tail, we'll kind of set that one up right there in the middle. And what we're gonna do is put it slightly behind those top 2. So you'll have like 2 different levels, I guess, of eyeballs, so to speak. Okay, and that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna kind of leave it there. I went ahead and trimmed up that last one just so that it fits a little cleaner. Okay, so there we have our 3 layers of little swim baits. All right, so that's never gonna get like perfectly centered, but we're just gonna pour in some clear plastic that will just kind of seal these in, so to speak. So just like you would any other bait, I want to try to pour it like halfway up the bait, so to speak, but without getting it all the way down into the tail. So that's the goal here, is to try and do something like that. So we're just gonna stop it right there at the tail, maybe blow on it a smidge. And this may not turn out perfect. This is kind of a really hard thing to do. We're gonna hold it, try to hold it in place there. Center it up a little bit. Now that may not work, but either way, that's kind of the idea. Alright, so we have some smoked gray, just a few drops of black plastic, and here we go. We're going to start in the tail, and we're going to fill her up here. Alrighty. It's going to just barely cover that last little swim bait there. Alright. Maybe a little more down here. I may overfill it, hopefully not. Okay, that looks about right. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. Alrighty. Let's see if this turned out. Let's get that tail out. Ugh. Get the body going here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's kind of what we have. Oop. There's kind of what we have. Alrighty. We'll get that in the bath. Yeah, looking pretty cool. I didn't quite get the edge on this side that I want, but that side looks a little cleaner, so you know, we'll just go with that side. Alright, a little bit of glue, if I can get it out here. There we go. A little bit of glue for the eyes. Okay. So these are big 15mm silver eyes going on. So I like how you have the multi-layered eyeball look. Alright, we'll flip it over and we'll do this side. Alright. Get a little action going there. Alright, we're ready to dip. Alright, now for a clear dip. Alright, so we're just going to kind of let that drip real quick, like we always do. And we're just going to kind of cut off this little tag real quick and in the bath. Alright, let's get a first little look at it out of the bath. Look at that. Isn't that pretty cool? And that's not as good as I did it the first time, I'll be completely honest. I think I just executed it a little better the first time that I tried this. Or maybe the second time. I think I tried it twice the first night that I ever tried it, and then on the second try I think I really got it down. But we'll clip off the nose, and that's a completed bait. I mean, it's such a cool idea, the whole kind of bait school look. And yeah, that's how you can do it, hand pouring a swim bait at home. Alright, so now we're gonna try to get a good picture of this thing, huh? Yeah. Maybe a little above it there. Maybe down at an angle like that. Yeah. Oh. That's probably going to be our best view right there. Yeah, I've got this little light box. I've shown it on here before, but yeah, it's definitely difficult to get a really great image. My dang phone. But yeah, one more time. Here's the bait. I think it's a pretty cool effect. Absolutely different, unique, and I could have done a little better job on it. It's pretty hard to do. So anytime you're working with this much clear, you know, it really doesn't hide any mistakes, that's for sure. But yeah, a really, really, really neat concept. And I'd be curious to see what you guys could do with something like this. All right, everybody. There is our creation today. And yeah, you know, I really can't say a whole lot more about it other than just it's really cool. I made one of these before. And I basically did the exact same thing here tonight. I basically duplicated what I did before. It's a really neat concept. You definitely need a big mold to do it with. Well, actually, you need a really tiny mold and a really big mold to do it with. But I really like the bait school effect. I'm sure, you know, you could take this to the extreme. If you had even smaller baits to put in there, you could probably fit more little swim baits and eyeballs, and maybe bring the eyes all the way down the body a little bit. I just don't have any baits that are small enough for that. And really, I don't know any little swim bait that's you know, really even smaller than the one that I have. But if you had something like that, you could really pack them in there like sardines or like anchovies, and really get a bunch of things going on. But you know, this little 3-tier effect that I do, I think it looks really good. So it's definitely a cool concept. You know, you're definitely not going to want to try to make 10 of these at once, because it's a lot of work. But it's a really cool concept, something to keep in mind, something to try. And you know, whenever I made the first one, I put it on Instagram as a little video, and it got like 15,000 views on my Instagram. So I was like, okay, people seem to really like that idea. So just tonight, the mood hit me, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do the bait school swim bait video tonight. So yeah, there it is again. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please shoot me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think it's a cool idea. Let me know if you think it sucks. I'll try and get back to everybody's comments. So I've been doing a bunch of orders this week. If you have emailed me about an order and I have not responded, it is not personal. It is just trying to keep up with them. So thank you everyone who's emailed me. Unfortunately, I just don't always have time to do everybody's order. So it just is what it is. But I appreciate the support to the channel, and I hope you'll keep watching, even if I can't make your baits for you. Anyway, I only get so much time. But that's what we did tonight. I think it's really cool. It's a neat concept. If you try something like this, please email me a picture or tag me on Instagram or Facebook or something. You know, I haven't seen anybody else really do this yet. So if you've done something like this, please shoot it my way. I'd love to see your interpretation. So anyway, that's enough rambling for tonight. I'm gonna go inside and eat. I'm starving, and it's hot as heck out here. So we will see you next time on The World's Worst Fishing, and thanks again so much for watching.